Stocks. We come to you live from Bangalore, and with me right now we have a bevy of very keen investors who want to know how actually they should not just trade their stocks but really all about investment philosophy. So we're in the heart of Bangalore right now, and let's get cracking. We have an expert also with us. Vishal Malkan of malkansview.com is going to be advising all our investors here. So Vishal, good afternoon to you. Thanks much for being a part of this show, and let me get cracking. First up, we have Mr. Nagendra, who actually wants to talk about a logistics company. So logistics, sir, have been in flavor for so long, but before I ask you about your stock, tell me, how long have you lived in Bangalore? Were you born and brought up here?
Yeah, I'm born and brought up in Bangalore. I'm here in this trade for the last 30 years.
Okay, so trade, you mean you've been an investor for the last 30 years?
Yeah, I'm an investor, basically an investor for the last 30 years. I'm in the stock market.
Okay, so before I ask any more questions, I actually want to get a flavor of Bangalore. Are a lot of people here investing? Because in Bombay, a lot of the people that we meet are very keen investors. Is that the sense you get over here? How long have you been investing, sir?
I am investing for the past 10, 12 years.
And has it been successful? Have you made a lot of money?
No. Last again made, so again lost. So now it's at par.
Okay, so hopefully now a lot of experts are saying that the bull run is perhaps starting. So I hope it's going to bring good tidings for you as well. So what about you? Are you all from Bangalore as well? How long have you stayed here?
Yeah, from 2008 I am an investor actually.
Okay.
Actually, since last 1 or 2 years we are making little bit money.
Okay, so that's good to know. I hope that winning streak continues. But let's finally get to Mr. Nagendra's query then. You want to talk about Blue Dart? What's your question?
No, basically, logistic industry is doing very well, and Blue Dart being the leader in the field, and in view of the latest government thrust on infrastructure development, this should do, according to market information, should double from the current price of around 6,350 or something, what it is today. And fundamentals being very good, I would like to know on technicals and what is the latest developments on the company side.
Okay, so have you already purchased shares?
Yeah, I have.
At what price?
No, my price is very reasonably low, because it has been bought at a very reasonable price of around 3,000 and all.
All right, so let me toss it over to Vishal then. Vishal, the question is on Blue Dart. Should he remain invested? He's bought it at about 3,000 levels.
I would say, first of all, congratulate him on picking the stock at the right time maybe and holding on for such a big profit. The thumb rule for anything which is going good for you is to put a trailing stop loss. So right now it is trading around 6,200, 300. So I would suggest a stop loss of 5,700, which is a very good support on the charts right now. Can break and if that breaks, then it can go further down. So 5,700 would be a good trailing stop loss to hold on the stock too.
Okay, so that's the advice for you, sir. First of all, congratulations on your winning bet. You can remain invested, no doubt, in Blue Dart. There are a lot of good prospects in store, but you must maintain a trailing stop loss. So for this stock, the support right now is at 5,700 levels. So you can remain invested, but be mindful of the 5,700 levels. All right, so up next we have Mr. Vajid, who actually wants to talk about another logistics company, that's Gati. Why Gati, sir?
So that is also one of the logistics stock, and it has fallen from 340 level, and now I am hopeful in this bull market it will go up. So my average rate is around 200.
Okay.
So I want to know whether I can get out after crossing 200, or I can wait for some more time to get the average.
Okay, so Vishal, that's the advice that is being sought. What are the higher levels that you see on Gati, and how long would you advise an investor to remain invested?
I would say Gati was trending down for the last 6 months odd, and it has come from 340 to 140 levels. So fortunately not the buying price of the investor is not that high. So I would say definitely hold on to the stock, and right now it's making some base formation in this stock, and between 150 and 180 is a good range bound movement which we see is an accumulation pattern. So I would suggest to hold on to the stock with a stop of 150, and you can see higher levels of around 225 to 245 in the next 3 to 4 months.
Now is we'll try and re-establish this audio connect. I'm not able to hear Vishal. Let's take a break and we'll come back and continue answering all your queries on your stocks. Stay tuned.
This is Your Stocks, coming to you live from the nation's IT capital, Bengaluru.
Well, that's right. We're here in Bangalore, and as you can see, we've changed our location a little bit because it's actually been an afternoon drizzle in Bangalore, but our investors are right here with us. So let's get to answering their queries because Ultratech Cement has actually taken up quite a bit of our time. So Mr. Rajgopal Rao, you want to actually ask a question on one of the companies headquartered right here, BEML, is that right?
BEML. I just want to know, I have invested quite some time in that company, maybe 2 years or so. I'm so confident. I have seen the ups and downs of that company. Certain bad news, but then still the company is doing good. I just want to know that today it had hit the 52-week high, even yesterday, and keep on moving for quite some time now. So I just want to know how long I can invest in that company. Will that go in the BEL way?
Okay, Vishal, you heard it. What are the future prospects of BEML looking like?
Definitely the stock is doing a fantastic move in the last few weeks, and actually it has traded above 52-week high. Now we are targeting the all-time high around 1900, which should be easy from here. So I definitely see some 20 to 30% move from here. So definitely a good time to invest and high momentum on weekly and monthly charts. So 1900 would be the first target in the medium term.
Okay, so there's good tidings for you. Our expert actually sees 1900, which would be an all-time high in the medium term on this stock. So the advice clearly is to remain invested. So good for you. All right. Up next, we have Mr. Mohammad Khatib. So what's the stock you want to talk about?
I want to know about Tata Steel. I invested quite some time and accumulated quite a chunk, in the portfolio. Average cost should be somewhere closer by to 325. It's 325. It's trading quite low now, I don't know, 52-week lows. Just want to check on the stock, what it has to be hold, sell or change the script.
Okay, so basically you just want some moral support that, All right, Vishal, should he remain invested in Tata Steel?
I would say the company is good fundamentally, but the whole metal story is on the downtrend in the last 1 year or so. And the best advice for trading or investing is to go with the trend. So I would suggest that rather than holding on to this stock, we can exit this at a loss and then get into some momentum stocks which can recover the losses faster and give us some returns also quickly. And there are many stocks, many sectors like the oil marketing companies or the pharma sector where you can divert the funds from metal.
All right, so that's good advice actually. Unfortunately, Mr. Khatib, the advice is for you to exit Tata Steel even though you might be making a loss over there and move to actually some of the other momentum sectors. There's pharma, there's also oil marketing companies that are doing very well because of the fall in crude prices. So the advice is for you to shift and perhaps just take the losses as they are. All right, Prashant, what's the stock you have chosen?
Yeah, I bought a Praj Industries at 75 level. Considering the corporate earnings as well as the bags, whether the order book size they have. So what would be the shall I continue to hold that or is it right time to exit from the stock?
Okay, and you're willing to do both, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Vishal, what's the word on Praj Industries?
Again, a good pick at a good price level and definitely see some good momentum on daily, weekly and monthly charts. So I would suggest, since it is doing good, I would suggest a trailing stop loss of 95 and hold on to the stock. We may see good prices like 125 to 140 in the next 3 to 4 months.
All right, so the levels you can see in the next 3 to 4 months are 125 to 140, but the level you have to watch out for is 95, which should be your stop loss there. All right, finally, we have 2 more investors with us. Ganesh, you want to talk about Coal India?
Yeah, Coal India. Recently, I bought at around 390, 395 level. As of now, we are in profit only, but should I hold it? I'm looking for 6 months actually.
Okay, so Coal India has actually been in focus quite a bit of late, but Vishal, technically speaking, what are the levels you see?
Coal India is a recent breakout about all-time high of 420, 425 levels. So I definitely a buy candidate on our list as a technical analyst, and I see a lot of room on the upside. Best he can do is to put a break-even stop of 390 rupees and hold on for 6 months. Maybe we can see 550 targets in the coming couple of quarters.
Okay, so the stop loss you need to look at is 390, and over the next, I think, 1 or 2 quarters, you could see a target of about, I think, 340 if I'm not mistaken, or perhaps, no, I think 540 is what he said. Okay, so thanks so much. And finally, Mr. Kalyanam, what stock do you want to talk about?
Hindustan Unilever. The stock has risen over 100% over the period of 1 year. So should I leverage it, or is there an upside left out for the stock in the same sector or in some other sector if I need to exit out?
Okay, so this is actually a stock which has created a lot of wealth for a lot of people. So Vishal, should he remain invested in HUL?
Yeah, definitely it should remain invested, and I think it's a consolidation phase after the strong uptrend which we saw in 2014. So that's some bit of consolidation, after which we can see a fresh upward move which can take the price up to 1200 to 1300. So I would definitely hold on this stock.
All right, so you need to remain invested, sir. 1200 to 1300 are the levels that our experts see. Vishal, thanks very much for joining in and for advising all our investors who've come here from Bangalore. And to all of you investors, continue investing, and thank you so much. And I hope that in some small way, at least, we've been of some help to you and your